A lot of people don't like other people wandering through their house, with all the showings leading up to wondering who's going to actually make an offer. What's their situation? What are the benefits, or how are you serving them? What are the benefits to them? So the sellers, if you're meeting with a seller or talking with a seller directly, what's their problem, their pain point, and then how are you helping them?
That is an excellent question. The difficulty is that the problems people are facing are unique to those people. And so every situation is totally different. I mentioned that the first deal we ever did was a bank-owned property. Well, the second deal we did was purchased directly from the seller. As we're finishing up that first deal, I was following the advice that I heard from other people, telling everybody what I do. And I was telling people at work that I'm finishing up this property. I'm looking for the next one. And one of my workmates said, my neighbor has a house that's in really rough shape. His wife was my best friend, and she recently died. And now he can't take care of the house. He's just totally depressed, wants to be done with stuff. So I met with him, and we had a really great conversation in terms of about life and what he was facing. And in his particular situation, what he needed was to get that house off of his back. There's no way it could sell on the market because it really was in rough shape. And he wanted to buy an RV, move to Florida where he had some other family, and just kind of rebuild his life after the loss of his wife. So in that case, he just wanted to be done. And we were able to talk about what he thought the house would be worth when it was fixed up, what he thought it would be worth now, and how much work it would take. And interestingly, a lot of times when you talk to people, they have opinions that are way off base from a financial standpoint. He was pretty much right on target. And we agreed on a price that would work for both of us. It was a higher price than he was able to get from any other investor, but it worked for us. And in that case, we bought his house for cash. And that was before I had learned how to work with private lenders and all this. So we actually used the equity in our house to fund that deal. So we had a home equity line of credit, and that's what we used to fund that. So I guess I could consider my wife being my private lender. Well, I don't know. But, and that worked out great for him. He was able to get what he needed. He was able to move forward in life. So that's one case. We had another case where we were approached by somebody to find a house for them. This was a little bit different. So a potential buyer said, "We like your rent-to-own program. We'd like to get involved." And we had a house listed at the time, but they really weren't a good fit for that house. The house didn't match what they needed. So we went out looking for a house for them, and we ended up finding a house and a similar situation. This was a woman whose health was declining. She wanted to move closer to her daughter so that they could be more closely involved with their life. The daughter could kind of care for her mom. And in that case, she had a house that was really rough and she needed to sell it. She wasn't sure what she was going to do. She was kind of paralyzed, but we also always try to involve family members if there are key family members in someone's life. And her daughter mentioned to us that, well, mom has to sell because the condo she wants to buy, she can't buy until she sells this house. And if she doesn't sell soon, that contract will expire. So in her case, the need was for speed. She had to get the deal done quickly so that she could move to the place that she wanted to. She could, downsize and be near her daughter. When you're in that kind of situation, selling on the open market is not an option. It's hard to sell a house. You don't know the timeline. You don't know what kind of repairs you have to do. You don't know that the banks are going to come through and loan the money on a house that needs a lot of repairs. So she was able to, in that scenario, be able to move to the condo she wanted to move to and able to get on with life.
Yeah, that's awesome. And in reality, for anybody to list a house with a realtor and to sell their home, especially if they're living in it, it takes a lot of work, right?
Mm-hmm. It does.
They're expected to make certain repairs, clean the house up, show the house. They don't know how long the process is going to take. And for a lot of people, it just helps them immensely not to have to make repairs and not to have to clean, just take out whatever they want to keep and leave the rest. And a lot of people don't like other people wandering through their house, with all the showings leading up to wondering who's going to actually make an offer.